Shabbat Shalom, everyone. My name is Daniel, and I'm the Vegan Nazarite. Uh, well, everyone, another Sabbath day, another week went and gone. Been a pretty trying week, and I'm glad the Sabbath day is here. It's always good to deflate, so to speak, on the Sabbath day. As Yah, on the seventh day, took a rest from creation, he also commands us in Exodus to also take a day of rest on the Sabbath day. And in case you're wondering, there's only one Sabbath day. There's not two, and that Sabbath day would be Saturday. Many people add and remove to the law, and quite to the contrary to that, the law itself tells us that we are not to add or remove from it. So just a little tidbit there. Today, we're continuing in Exodus. Today, our Torah reading is Pekudei. And again, for the ones who know Hebrew, I probably didn't do a very good job of saying that. And it's going to be, we're continuing where the Israelites are actually building the tabernacle. And again, like the Torah, that is sealed and no man can add or remove, to make sure that the Israelites build the tabernacle and the tent of meeting exactly the way he wants it to be. Yah does two things. He gives the instructions to Moses, and he also sends his spirit to all the workers and all the fine craftsmen, the jewel crafters, the tinsmith, all the trades that are pulling in to create the tabernacle. He sends the spirit to make sure that everything is done according to his plan. So there we go. The Torah is full of the spirit of Yah, and those who think the spirit is not there need to read a little closer. So let's start. We're going to be reading, let me see here, Exodus 38:21 to 40:38. And the reading of the prophets today is going to be 1 Kings 7:51 to 8:21, which is basically a continuation of the reading in 1 Kings that we did last week. So let's start. Get my Torah on the screen here. Pekudei. These are the accounts of the tabernacle, even as the tabernacle of the testimony, as they were rendered according to the commandment of Moses, through the service of the Levites, by the hand of Ithamar, the son of Aaron the priest, and Bezalel, the son of Uri, the son of Hur, the son of the tribe of Judah, made all that the Lord commanded Moses. And with him was Oholiab, the son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman and a skillful workman, and a weaver in colors of blue, in purple, and in scarlet, and fine linen. All the gold that was used for the work and all the work of the sanctuary, even the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And the silver of them that were numbered of the congregation was 100 talents, and 1,703 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary. A bekah, a head, that is, half a shekel, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone that passed over them, that are numbered from 20 years old and upwards, for 600,000 and 3,550 men. And the 100 talents of silver were for casting the sockets of the sanctuary and the sockets of the veil, 100 sockets for the 100 talents, and a talent for a socket. And of the 1,775 shekels, he made the hooks for the pillars and overlaid their capitals and made fillets for them. And the brass of the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. And therewith he made the sockets of the door of the tent of the meeting, and the brazen altar, and the brazen grating for it, and all the vessels of the altar, and all the sockets of the court round about, and the sockets of the gate of the court, and all the pins of the tabernacle, and all the pins of the court round about. Chapter 39. And of the blue and purple and scarlet they made plated garments for ministering in the holy place, and made the holy garments for Aaron, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the ephod of gold, blue and purple and scarlet, and fine twined linen. And they did beat the gold into thin plates, and cut it into threads, to work it in the blue, and in the purple, and in the scarlet, and in the fine linen, the work of the skillful workmen. They made shoulder pieces for it, joined it together. At the two ends it was joined together. And the skillful woven band that was upon it, wherewith to gird on, was of the same piece like the work thereof, of gold, of blue and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they wrought the onyx stones, enclosed in settings of gold, graven with the engravings of a signet, according to the names of the children of Israel. And he put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, to be stones of memorial for the children of Israel, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the breastplate, the work of the skillful workmen, like the work of the ephod, of gold, of blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine twined linen. It was foursquare. They made the breastplate double. A span was the length thereof, and a span the breadth thereof, being double. And they set it in 4 rows of stones, a row of carnelian, topaz, smaragd was the first row, and the second row a carbuncle, a sapphire, and an emerald, and the third row a jacinth, an agate, and an amethyst, and the fourth row a beryl, an onyx, and a jasper. They were enclosed in fittings of gold in their settings. And the stones were according to the names of the children of Israel, 12 according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one according to a signet, every one according to his name, for the 12 tribes. And they made upon the breastplate, plated upon the breastplate, plated chains of wreathen work of pure gold. And they made 2 settings of gold, and 2 gold rings, and put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And they put the 2 wreathen chains of gold on the 2 rings at the end of the breastplate. And the 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains they put on the 2 settings, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod, in the forepart thereof. And they made 2 rings of gold, and they put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate, upon the edge thereof, which was towards the sides of the ephod inwards. And they made 2 rings of gold, and put them on the 2 shoulder pieces of the ephod underneath, in the forepart thereof, close by the coupling thereof, above the skillful woven band of the ephod. And they did bind the breastplate by the rings thereof onto the rings of the ephod with a thread of blue, that it might be upon the skillful woven hand of the ephod, that the breastplate might not be loosed from the ephod, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he made the robe of the ephod of woven work of all blue, and the whole of the robe in the midst thereof, as the whole of a coat of mail, with a binding round about it, the whole of it, that it should not be rent. And they made upon the skirts of the robe pomegranates of blue and purple and scarlet and twined linen. And they made bells of pure gold, and put the bells between the pomegranates upon the skirts of the robe round about, between the pomegranates. A bell and a pomegranate, a bell and a pomegranate upon the skirt of the robe round about, to minister in, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made tunics of fine linen of woven work for Aaron and for his sons, and the mitre of the fine linen, and the goodly head tires of fine linen, and the linen breeches of fine twined linen, and the girdle of the fine twined linen, and blue and purple and scarlet, the work of the weaver in colors, as the Lord commanded Moses. And they made the plate of the holy crown of pure gold, and wrote upon it in writing like the engraving of a signet, holy to the Lord. And they tied it onto a thread of blue, to fasten it upon the mitre above, as the Lord commanded Moses. Thus was finished all the work of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and the children of Israel did according to all that the Lord commanded Moses. So did they. And they brought the tabernacle unto Moses, the tent, and all its furniture, its clasps, its boards, its bars, its pillars, and its sockets, and the coverings of ram skins dyed red, and the coverings of sealskins, and the veil of the screen, the ark of the testimony, and the staves thereof, and the ark cover, the table, all the vessels thereof, and the showbread, the pure menorah, the lamps thereof, even the lamps to be set in order, and all the vessels thereof, and the oil for the light, and the golden altar, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the screen for the door of the tent, the brazen altar, and its grating of brass, its staves, and all its vessels, the layer and its base, the hangings of the court, its pillars and its sockets, and the screen for the gate of the court, the cords thereof, and the pins thereof, and all the instruments of the service of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, the plaited garments for ministering the holy place, in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons to minister in his priest's office, according to all that the Lord commanded. So the children of Israel did all the work. And Moses saw all the work, and behold, they had done it as the Lord commanded. Even so had they done it, and Moses blessed them. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, On the first day of the first month shalt thou rear the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and thou shalt put therein the ark of testimony, and thou shalt screen the ark with the veil. And thou shalt bring in the table, and set in order the bread which is upon it, and thou shalt bring it in the menorah, and light the lamps thereof. And thou shalt set the golden altar of incense before the ark of the testimony, and put the screen of the door onto the tabernacle. And thou shalt set the altar of burnt offerings before the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting. And thou shalt set the laver between the tent of meeting and the altar, and shalt put water therein. And thou shalt set up the court round about, and hang up the screen of the gate of the court. And thou shalt take the anointing oil, and anoint the tabernacle, and all that is therein, and shall hallow it, and all the furniture thereof, and it shall be holy. And thou shalt anoint the altar of the burnt offering, all its vessels, and sanctify the altar, and the altar shall be most holy. And thou shalt anoint the laver and its base, and sanctify it. And thou shalt bring Aaron and his sons unto the door of the tent of meeting, and shalt wash them with water. And thou shalt put upon Aaron the holy garments, and thou shalt anoint him, and sanctify him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt bring his sons, and put tunics upon them, and thou shalt anoint them, as thou did anoint their father, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And their anointing shall be to them for an everlasting priesthood throughout their generation. Thus did Moses, according to all that the Lord commanded him, so did he. In the first month, in the second year, on the first day of the month, that the tabernacle was reared up. And Moses reared up the tabernacle and laid its sockets and set up the boards thereof and put in the bars thereof and reared up its pillars. And he spread the tent over the tabernacle and put the covering of the tent above upon it, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he took and put the testimony into the ark and set the staves upon the ark and put the ark cover above upon the ark. And he brought the ark into the tabernacle and set up the veil of the screen and screened the ark of the testimony as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the table in the tent of the meeting upon the side of the tabernacle northward without the veil. And he set a row of bread in order upon it before the Lord as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the menorah in the tent of meeting over against the table on the side of the tabernacle southward. And he lighted the lamps before the Lord as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the golden altar in the tent of meeting before the veil. And he burnt thereon incense of sweet spices as the Lord commanded Moses. And he put the screen of the door to the tabernacle. And the altar of the burnt offering he set at the door of the tabernacle of the tent of meeting, and offered upon it the burnt offering and the meal offering, as the Lord commanded Moses. And he set the laver between the tent of meeting and the altar, and put water therein, wherewith to wash, that Moses and Aaron and his sons might wash their hands and their feet therein. And when they went into the tent of meeting, and they came near unto the altar, they should wash as the Lord commanded Moses. And he reared up the court round about the tabernacle and the altar, and set up the screen of the gate of the court. So Moses finished the work. Then the cloud covered the tent of meeting, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And Moses was not able to enter the tent of meeting, because the clouds abode thereon, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. And wherever the cloud was taken up from over the tabernacle, the children of Israel went onward throughout all their journeys. But if the cloud was not taken up, then they journeyed not till the day that it was taken up. For the cloud of the Lord was upon the tabernacle by day, and there was fire therein by night, in the sight of all the houses of Israel throughout all their journeys. And that's it. We just finished the book of Exodus. So, again, we read that everything about the tabernacle was commanded by Yah, and Moses basically just distributed how to build it. Let's move on to the prophets, and we're going to be going to Kings 7:51. Let me give me just a minute to get there. Kings 7, and we're basically picking up exactly where we were last week. 7:51. Okay. 1 Kings 7:51. Thus all the work that King Solomon wrought in the house of the Lord was finished. And Solomon brought the things which David his father had dedicated, the silver and the gold, and the vessels, and put them into the treasures of the house of the Lord. Okay, I'm reading till 8:21. Then Solomon assembled the elders of Israel and all the heads of the tribes, the princes of the fathers of the house of the children of Israel, unto King Solomon in Jerusalem, to bring up the ark of the covenant of the Lord out of the city of David, which is Zion. And all the men of Israel assembled themselves unto King Solomon and the feast, at the feast, in the month of Ethanim, which is the seventh month. All the elders of Israel came, and the priests took up the ark. And they brought up the ark of the Lord and the tent of meeting, and all the holy vessels that were in the tent. Even these did the priests and the Levites bring up. And King Solomon and all the congregation of Israel that were assembled unto him were with him before the ark, sacrificing sheep and oxen that could not be told nor numbered for the multitude. And the priests brought in the ark of the covenant of the Lord onto its place, onto the sanctuary of the house, to the most holy place, even under the wings of the cherubim. For the cherubim spread their wings over the palace of the ark, over the place of the ark. And the cherubim covered the ark, and the stave thereof above. And the staves were so long that the ends of the stave were seen from the holy place, even before the sanctuary. But they could not be seen without, and they are unto this day. There was nothing in the ark save the 2 tables of stone, which Moses put there at Horeb, when the Lord made a covenant with the children of Israel, when they came out of the land of Egypt. And it came to pass that when the priest were come out of the holy place, that the cloud filled the house of the Lord, so the priests could not stand to minister by reason of the cloud, for the glory of the Lord filled the house of the Lord. Then spoke Solomon. The Lord had said he would dwell in the thick. And the king turned his face about and blessed all the congregation of Israel. And the congregation of Israel stood. And he said, Blessed be the Lord, the God of Israel, who spoke with his mouth unto David my father, and hath with his hand fulfilled it, saying, Since the day that I brought forth my people of Israel out of Egypt, I chose no city out of all the tribes of Israel to build a house, that my name might be there. But I chose David to be over my people Israel. Now it was in the heart of David my father to build a house for the name of the Lord, the God of Israel. But the Lord said unto David my father, Whereas it was in thy heart to build a house for my name, thou did well that it was in thy heart. Nevertheless, thou shalt not build a house, but thy son shall come forth out of thy loins, and he shall build a house for my name. And the Lord has established his word by what he spoke. For I am risen up in the room of David my father, and sit on the throne of Israel, as the Lord promised, and I have built the house in the name of the Lord, the God of Israel. And that there have I set a place for the ark, and wherein the covenant of the Lord, which he made, which our fathers, when he brought them out of the land of Egypt. And that's the reading of the prophets today. So we see a parallel here. Basically, as in the Torah, God tells Moses to build the altar and the tabernacle. We see in Kings, now, instead of having a tabernacle and a tent, King Solomon builds the temple as was prophesied by Yah himself, I might add, that David was not going to build a temple. And if I remember correctly, it's because he had shed too much blood as a warrior. So now Yah gives a time of peace to Israel and enough time for Solomon, King David's son, to be able to establish the temple. Well, there we have it today, folks. I want to thank you for listening. Uh, like I said, and like I write every week, uh, the Torah is not gone, nor abolished, nor anything like that. Uh, Yeshua even tells us that we are to live on every word from God, as he did. So that's why I read the law and the prophets every week. Um, I want to thank you all for listening. I want to wish you a good Shabbat Shalom. And I'm going to close off. Let me see YouTube here. So have a good Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shall see you soon. The fall feast days are coming up quick. So as Yeshua teaches us, watch and be ready because we do not know. So we need to keep watching and not lose our path. And have a good end of the week and a good week, everyone. Goodbye.